I don't have it. It would have been like, choo 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 choo. So Siya Saanga will be joining us in just a few seconds. I want to actually read out Habakkuk 2, verse 2 and 3, because I truly do believe, like, when hearing and just listening to your story, when we talk of air, I know that you have spoken a lot about how you knew. So I just want people just to have a picture of this and meditate on it. I mean, 2024 is around the corner, guys. 2024 is around the corner. So please, guys, make your requests known unto the Father. Okay, so it's Habakkuk 2, verse 2 and 3, and it says, "Then the Lord replied, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that the herald may run with it. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come to pass and will not delay." This is the word of God and may be blessed forever and ever. Listen, guys, it's clear what it says, Elizwi. Ukubana, write it down. I've asked you a question previously, Uguti. Have you done your vision board for 2024? If not, please do so this weekend. Please do so today. It doesn't have to be like this big charts. Go to Pinterest if you have to and pin all these things that you would want your future to look like and submit it to the Father. But we are saying you are putting your faith to the test and you are asking God, I reveal more and more and more. So without wasting any of our time, because even though it lingers, wait. So thank you for those that waited for Siya Saanga Sityana. So Siya Saanga Betunana is a son of God, first and foremost, a grandson of a Xhosa novelist. Siya was born into a creative world, a storytelling and documentary worldwide stories, and consider himself as a true South African visionary. I mean, don't we need Amanda Banjalo that knows, And Siya Saanga Betunani has consumed ilenduka passion that he has dedicated his whole entire time, his whole entire life, especially as a young black director born in PE. Hello, Gqeberha boy. And finding his rhythm in Cape Town, between Cape Town actually and Joburg. He has a background in film, directorship, and so forth. Listen, if I could read his bio, guys, it is in there. I mean, he has worked with the actors such as Denzil Washington. He has worked with actors such as Lupita, Nyongo. I mean, directed Musa Jakuja. I mean, siyazibala pha. Yeah. Siyazibala pha. So welcome to Grace Upon Grace, Siya. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah.
I just like that scripture that you just read now. What I do take out from that is the fact that there could be obstacles, there could be delays, there could be all types of things within your path. But what will be, will be.
That's right.
As God says,
Simple.
that regardless of how people feel, of what people do, because obviously we're on earth, so people will try to delay you and whatnot.
That's so cool.
But that rubber stamps my greatest belief, Eti. God is never too late. Second to that, it says that God's timing is perfect timing.
That's right.
Isn't that what it is? I mean, I'm a true testimony to this.
Yeah. And I want you to actually take us through your story, your journey, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you didn't just become a director,
Yes.
of commercials, TV and film and so forth.
Yeah.
You had to go through some hurdles in your life, right? And I mean, this month, key focus is on male, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got my blue on. Guys, please indicate if you have your blue on, because I mean, we are out here having to support our men to be vulnerable, to give them platforms to share their stories, so that he can be able to encourage other people to come up and share their stories. So take us through your journey, Siya.
Yeah, so my journey begins as a young boy from Eastern Cape. Ndizalelwe eBhayi. born in Port Elizabeth, now known as Gqeberha. Grew up there, went to do most of my growing up at Pedi. It's a small town between Grahamstown and King Williamstown, and that's where I grew up, majority. And the woman that raised me, well, my grandmother, my mom's mom, was a spiritual being in a whole lot of sense. Why am I Africa?
Yay.
I don't know how many people know that. Say Africa.
Yeah.
And that's where she did a praising of God. And we grew up in that. I had no choice. It was one of those, you're my grandson, you're going to go where I go.
You were never given a choice.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. And then from there, I went on to Mthatha, where my mom's sister, the oldest in the family, I grew up there. She raised me as well, and she was a Christian, or she still is actually, not was, because she still lives. She's a pastor in a Christian church, a born again, all of that. So I grew up in that spiritual, foundation.
Yeah.
And that's what raised me and gave me a lot of values as a human being. To be God-fearing is what led me to this far, you know. So my journey began there. And from there, I knew, like I've always been that person. People thought I was cocky about it. People thought I was arrogant. How do you know you're going to be this and that? I'm like, dude,
I know this.
God's got me,
I know.
They say God's got me.
Yeah.
And that's the code I lived by, is that I know what is there for me, what is written would be, and how God visioned my life would be. It didn't matter to me how long it was going to take. I knew I was going to be. And even to date, when people see the people that I grew up in front of, the people I grew with, when they see where I am, they're like, oh, you said it.
You said it.
And I said,
power of the
they're like, how did you know? I didn't know. I just believed in my destiny.
Sure.
So that's why I always say to people, never race with your destiny, have a date with it. Because you could be sitting, you could be chilling and doing nothing.
Sure.
You could be delayed, you could feel stagnant where you are right now, but what will be, because destiny always prevails.
That's right.
And that's what it is. And I gave 100% belief into my destiny and what God written or wrote in his own hand. Because he wrote this.
And he
Before
wrote
I was
it.
even in my mom's womb, he wrote it.
Boom.
I mean, if they say God knows what you'll be doing tomorrow, today, why would you doubt?
That's right. You see that right there. I think also we are so afraid to voice it with our mouths. Ukuthi this is what I'm going to, because we're focusing on the situation right now.
Correct.
And the situation right now blinds us to dream unlimited.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking of a child right now that's Eastern Cape, for example, or Mpumalanga, or wherever, where like there's big city lights and TV kowabo ayikho. And how does that person dream? How would you actually advise that person to dream? Because I mean, nje usicela nge-background, because I also want you to touch on your inspiration, your influence in terms of this specific filmmaker career.
Yes. So if you look at it, I mean, ndikhulele in a farm. It's a family farm, 14 houses. And all we did majority of the time is we had cows and goats, and we just played with wired cars and all that stuff. So you can think about it. Ndifunda kwizikolo zodaka. We had no proper structure of schools.
Sure.
It was like mud, flipping huts that we were starting in. But even that, the surroundings and how I got brought up didn't bother me much. I guess because also the inspiration I had from home was look beyond your surroundings and look at the future and dream big and bigger than where you are and what you can be.
That's so good.
And that's what it was, you know. And that kind of motivated me to be where I am. I thought to myself, like, you know, every day, people think just because I'm Siya Satyana now, you know, the appreciated director, whatnot, they think I still don't have those deja vus. They think I still don't have those disbeliefs of, am I here? I still pinch myself every day, every time something big happens in my world. And I'm like, who knew?
Yeah.
When I grew up, I didn't even know I'd be here. Who knew I could be speaking English, first of all?
Hey, when?
You know, you know, those kind of things.
Talk about it.
People don't know, and
Yeah.
some people assume that I went to multiracial schools or maybe I
And
went
that's
to
that
white
we
schools.
catch it here and there. Yeah,
It's
what?
all self-taught, like you have to. It's one.
You have to.
So yeah, watch a lot of media, the social media and YouTube. You'll speak English.
Hey
So,
guys, welcome to my
yeah.
channel.
So you know that those kind of elements that were combined into my life and my journey
Yeah.
made me to be stronger and more believing in myself. There's so much demotivation out there. There's so much
Sure.
negativity that we catch.
That's so true.
Either we catch from the people we know, we catch from our surroundings, our social surroundings, we catch from social media. The first page you open, there's negativity. You could easily be drawn into that and you just get demotivated.
Yeah.
And the people that we roll with can demotivate you too. Your family can demotivate you
True.
into thinking, yeah, you never reach that pinnacle, you never do this. I'm like, well,
Let's see.
you didn't make me, you didn't bring me here, so the person that brought me here had a plan.
Yeah. A perfect one.
And
that is.
exactly. So my journey has been that journey of I believe in my destiny. I believe in the angels I walk with.
Yeah.
I believe in my guardians because all of that is created by one person.
That's God.
We want to call him a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. It's God, the Almighty, that created this earth, that created us as beings and gave us a sense of being human being.
Yeah.
You know, someone even said to me, rather not live as a human being, but rather a human doing. What are you doing?
Ooh.
Did you get that?
Say that again.
Yeah.
Rather not live as a human being,
But
live as a human doing. Okay, I think let's take a break, soak that in, and then we'll be back straight after the song by Ancient of Days, Sound of the New Breed.
Come on! Hey, everybody clap your hands.
AM or MW, not FM. Alternatively, visit our website or download our app to listen wherever you are. Cape Pulpit 729 AM, your daily companion.
You are listening to Radio Cape Pulpit on 729 AM. Your radio compass on the road to true living.
Hello, hello. You are back to Grace Upon Grace. Usahleli nalantombazana kuthiwa nguMusa Jakuja. Ndendile bethuna ndiyo ntombazana nje. I am a woman of God, a woman that creates safe spaces for others. And Grace Upon Grace is the show that you can call upon if you know that you've got a story to share. Hit me up, man. You know how it is. You know how it is. And today we have none other than Siya Saanga Sityana, and he's just sharing his journey on how he has become this person that he is right now. I mean, off air, Siya, going straight into it. You know, we're talking about how people will feed off your energy. You know what I mean? And when you're down, it's like, hey, the world has just crashed, the world crumbled. Siya's so teeny because he's the one that brings the energy. So how do you deal with that if you're like feeling not so good today? And you talked about who fills your cup, who puts in gas.
Yeah. So, like you just said now, so beautifully so, I believe in, they say the world is a lesson, and you ask yourself, where's the tutor for me?
Ooh.
Who teaches you? Everybody takes from you, but who's giving you any lessons, any energy, any positivity? It's easy to just crash and crumble. I've had those days. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I know I inspire a lot of people. I'm inspired by a lot of people. But again, I'm human. I bleed. I breathe. I get hurt. I'm emotional as much as everybody is.
Yeah.
I know, but there's this thing about indoda ikhala.
I know such a thing.
There isn't such a thing, you know. I feel like if
men don't cry.
yeah,
For those that didn't
even
hear.
the betekile when there's better ngecango. Ufuna nobani ngokukhala phambi kwakho but kanjeli khona eyifundini. Ishubile, you know? Pain is pain.
Yeah, that's right.
So what keeps me motivated? It's a combination of a lot of things. One is if I feel cluttered in my mental, I normally just take out a book and write. By the way, I don't think I've shared this, but I write poetry a lot. And
So you are going to close us off with a poetic
poem.
eh?
So
stanza. nyana nje.
So I write a lot, and the reflection of my inner emotion always reflect on my poetry. I do that, avoiding that when I write scripts for film, I don't want my characters to reflect me, which they often do.
I mean, you created them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sure.
that's also one coping mechanism for me. Second to that is I pray a lot.
Talk us through your faith journey, sir.
I pray. I pray.
Yeah.
So just so everybody knows, right now, right here on your show for the first time, I do not wish or want to be closed into a box of religious belonging. I do not belong to any religious affiliation or constituency. I'm not a Christian. I'm not Muslim. I'm not anything. I just believe in the higher power. I believe in God, and I deal with God, and God deals with me personally because we believe in each other. He believes in me. I believe in him.
Sure.
And because of that, that gives me the courage and the comfortability of speaking to God at any time I want, anywhere, in whatever space, in anyhow I want to speak to him because he understands me. He created me that way.
That's right.
I do not need a pastor to pray upon me. I do not need a church. If he feels like I need to sing for him, I will sing in my car. I will sing at home.
But do you fellowship though?
Yeah, that's what it is. You don't need a church. You don't need four walls. Because God travels with you. You
Sure.
are him in you. He is you. You are him in you, and also you are you in you. So this is the temple.
Sure.
I don't need a temple built by men with concrete and bricks. You know.
I hear you.
So
but I
anyway,
mean, fellowship is good.
Yeah, I know.
You
I'm
this
not.
is good.
I
People
am
that's
not.
around you.
I am not.
filling
Yeah,
in
don't
your
hear me
thought.
wrong. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to crash or crush anything that people are doing for the spirituality. I'm saying understand who Siya is and how Siya keeps his spirituality and what I feed off, right? So I pray. I pray when I wake up. I pray when I sleep. And I want to tell you, all of you guys right now, you need to stop always praying to God when you want something.
Sure. Say
You
it
need to
again.
start praying to God and saying, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for the oxygen. Thank you for the food. Thank you that you still walk with me. Jesus doesn't have to walk with you all the time. If you don't walk with him, why must he walk with you?
Sure.
You know what I mean? You got a
Yeah.
choice. Remember something. So uThixo is an almighty, we say.
Yeah.
Almighty, because we know he is. But if he wanted you to worship him every day, all day, every hour, he will make you worship him.
Yeah.
But because he's fair, he gave you a choice.
Grace.
He says you could either do that or you not. It's up to you. How much of a choice from a father? You know what I mean?
Sure.
He has the power to make you listen to him.
Yeah.
He has the power to force you to do things, but he doesn't. That's how fair he is. And that is why we say God is pure than men, because he never turns back on his word. Today, you can go out here and curse on him. He doesn't care.
He's gone.
It's not like he's going to
not gonna
strike.
change.
He's not going to strike you with lightning just because you say, no.
Don't.
No. If he said you'll live up till 80, you'll be this and that, you still will be, because he doesn't turn back on his word.
On his word.
So for me, all of those elements about God and all of those characteristics of God, that's how I cope. I'm like, I could be wrong today. He'll correct me tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, he can argue with me and say, oh, I don't think you were. But we have this conversation with God. And so my coping mechanism with my spirituality is the fact that I'm comfortable knowing that he understands when I'm wrong. He also understands when I'm right.
Yeah.
And he won't argue with me. He'll say, oh, well done, son, go on. You know? And that's what it is. So I would pray. I would thank him. I will also just show him my appreciation of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because uThixo naye uyanida uxelela uba unguThixo grand, uyayenza lento, and thank you so much
Yeah.
for getting me this far.
Yeah.
Some people don't even know this. I mean, you want to put this on record, right? Hear this. So I had 3 car accidents
This
Right.
year? Or just in your life?
in my life. I had 3 fatal car accidents.
Sure.
My family knows this. I had 3 heart attacks. One happened at work. I was busy directing an actor and I went. But where am I now?
Yeah.
You'd say things happens in 3. I say, nope. Things happen in God. I could be anywhere right now. You could be
right.
talking to me where? About my life when I'm not even here. I would never existed till here. But do you think I'm going to turn back on my faith because someone says, oh, you got to be a Christian, you got to be a Muslim, you got to be a Buddhist? I believe in him because he's shown me, bah, wherever you are, I got you. God's got you. There's so many times I said, I got this. And God said, no, you don't got this.
You must walk with me.
Yeah.
And you got it.
Remember. So, ngeXhosa, there's a powerful Xhosa saying. It says, uThixo esimthandazayo nguThixo onekhwele, not isikhwele. 2 different things. Ikhwele, not isikhwele. So meaning, he
There's a
also
God that's
needs you.
jealous.
Yeah, he needs you to appreciate him.
Yeah.
To tell him that you are God, you're almighty, you've done this. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why must he do it? Even if I was him, I would like, that's okay. He doesn't care or she doesn't care. So what? So it's purely you saying, you're blessing me, I'm blessing you back. Because remember, he created us in his image with all his imperfections, with all his perfections,
That's right.
sense of humor, emotions. Who said God doesn't cry?
I mean, he wept.
Why did he create us with those emotions if he doesn't have it? Then we might as well say, oh, the Bible is a liar because it says he created us in his image with all his emotions.
Sure.
In fact, we have his power because we can create. But maybe the only power he didn't give us is to create, to be able to revive a human when they're dead. But he gave us the power of life. A woman can give birth to life.
Yeah.
That's
The
creation.
seed there.
A man plants a seed, a woman carries it and brings it to life. Isn't that creation?
Sure. That's it.
You want to tell me that we're not in his image? Come on, man. So, yeah. So for me to just answer that question, and I digressed because I wanted to elaborate on why all those elements of God kept me motivated, kept me moving,
Got you.
you know, and I'm in this position of where I am in life today because of that, you know.
And you're talking about seed and planting, you know. Do you remember who started the planting, you know, with you? And where are you sowing planting your seed, or even, you know, sowing and giving back? Because it starts somewhere. There must have been someone somewhere that has sown Siya, as much as you had a vision over your life. But ukhona umuntu othi, hey, there's something about this guy, and I want to take him with me. Do you still remember that?
Yeah, I still remember. So this is now obviously the people that brought me up were the people that first believed in me, right? And then it comes to your professional work or your professional world, where someone has to believe in you to become someone. And I gotta be honest about this. It's always been women that believed in me. I mean, my first break was given to me by a woman.
Sure.
It was a woman I was assisting. I started off in my career as a casting assistant to a casting director. And this woman, you know, she used to work for Chaos Castings in Cape Town. And she brought me up under her wing and believed in me. But she said to me, there's something about you. I don't think this is where it ends. This is just the beginning. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, I see something beyond just you identifying talent from casting and auditions to something bigger. She didn't know what it was. I didn't know what she was talking about. But I was like, makes my own wonder.
Sure.
Little did I know that from her networks and from her, you know, references, I would meet a director who was also a woman, who said to me, look, you could be an assistant director to me if you want to be on the field, giving directions to bring characters to life.
Sure.
We spoke about creation.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
From written text to life.
Yeah.
See how we breathe life? So that woman also, you know, she was like, I'll give you a chance. If you mess it up, then it's what it is, but you're being given a chance.
Sure.
So those two women that gave me a chance, I still remember them today. Then there was a third woman when I was doing radio at Bush Radio. I was presenting a show called Bush Teens on weekends. And there was a woman from America that came in under the organization, and she came to give us lessons and stuff.
Sure.
And she bought me a book before she left. She said to me, here's a book for you. And the book was scriptwriter. I said, oh, good Lord. Scriptwriter. I said, what does it have to do with radio?
What a prophetic act.
Yeah, I said, what does it have to do with radio? I'm on
Yeah,
radio. Why
sure.
would you give me something that speaks about visual creation? She's like, read this book. I think that's where you're going to be.
Wow.
And I don't even know. I lost contact of her a long time, but she gave me that book. I went home. I showed my mom. My mom was like, oh, my God, you know. And I used to lock myself into my room. My sisters can testify to this. My mother, rest her soul and bless her soul. And she used to say to me, she's knocking at my door. Izoja. When my family dishes out for dinner, I'm locking myself and I'm reading this book. And I remember I had those dividers before you end the chapter. And she was like, come. And she looked at this book. She was like, this kid, is he serious? But anyway, from there, then my development and love of storytelling in a visual format began. So you see the trail of those people that gave me the chance, believed in something I didn't see at the time.
That's good.
And that's what it is. Now, if I look back, I'm like, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have believed so much into myself and that I'm capable to be where I am today.
That's so good.
And that spiritual realm and believing, for someone to believe in you, they got to be heaven sent. You don't have to believe in any
Angel.
outsider.
Yeah.
Because even for them, they are pushed and motivated by something bigger than them.
That's right.
That says he needs your help.
Yeah.
He doesn't see it.
Seeing beyond what
Yeah.
they can see.
Correct.
Sure, that's so
And
good.
that's in just coupling it. It's the people and what kept me going spiritually, because I feel like they were sent and we all connect, because the synergy at the time was right for
Yeah.
God to say, this is your path, dude. Don't try anything different. I know I gave you so many talents. Look, everybody has different talents.
Yeah.
In one person, there could be 4 to 5 talents that you're strong at. But one will resonate. One will stand out.
Yeah.
Because that's the one that God says, I gave you all these abilities, but this one
Stands
is what you
out.
want. But you know what? Can I tell you something about my career? It's a calling, because
Yeah.
in my career, I'm able to be followed by people. I'm able to motivate people. I'm able to change someone's life.
Yeah, sure.
And the scripture says, I'll make you fishers
Fishers
of men. Thank you.
Sure. And have you given, I know now you are kind of like answering my question, but is there someone that you are mentoring, or a group of people that you are mentoring right now, especially in this industry? Yeah, director and film, because it's a yes, one whip off.
Yes.
It's ingola hlobo ililo. It can be messy, it can be beautiful, it can be stressful, it can be all sorts of things, and there's someone right there that you have identified, and you're like, that one, he has a zeal or she has a zeal just like I did. Is there someone that you are working with right now?
Yes. So I worked with a lot of people in this industry. I've plugged in a lot of people, if I may use such a word. I think that's the common use word now. You've plugged someone in to the system. Yeah. So I plugged in a lot of people into the system. Some of them have surpassed me in terms of where they are, which I'm happy with. To me, it's like if I help somebody to be and realize their true potential, I'm happy. That's a
Yeah.
calling for me. That's a gift.
That's it.
You know, being a director is a gift to identify someone's potential into bringing non-existent characters into life.
Sure.
That's a talent.
That's it.
So I've plugged in a lot of people. In the beginning of this year, I was involved into a lot of programs. There was one in the Eastern Cape that I got involved in from January to March, which was about females in film industry. I was the only male in that group of mentors. There were 4 of us, and you know, I mentored script writing and directing for them. So they had ideas, so I would mentor them on how to bring that idea into a screenplay, all the way into shooting it, bringing it to life. And then in between that, I've been doing a lot of master classes of mentoring a group of people. And these people are not necessarily students or newcomers, but also industry people that come on board and they want to learn from a seasoned filmmaker. Currently, like this week, I'll be in Johannesburg at Wits University. I have an organization called the IDAA, which is Independent Directors Association Africa. And what we do there also is we're fighting for rights of, film crew, and actors and all those people. But also under that, we are saying we're championing people being given an opportunity to be themselves and show their true potential.
Yeah.
So that's also all part of mentoring. We do master classes, we do workshops.
That's good.
So I never really focus on one person. I believe I'm a person. Look,
If
I-
fishes needs, you cannot fish for
yeah,
one
but
fish.
I always
You fish for
yes.
a whole load.
Remember, we said fishers of men, not just one
Fishes,
person.
That's right.
So I always say to people when I speak about myself, I say I'm God's vessel. When I open my mouth, God lets beautiful words come out of my mouth. But also God gives me a pool of people, say, these are your disciples, take them to the promised land.
Sure.
And in that, it doesn't mean I should be with them in the promised land. Remember, I need to remain this side of the promised land to bring more people into the promised land. And that's what I've been doing.
Sure.
And I'm happy with that. So I never take one person over the fence. I always bring a group. And I'll continue to do so until my lungs collapse. And because I don't walk alone, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And only when God allows, then my journey will end.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Are you closing us off with poetry? Or
The
maybe
poem.
next time, is there something that is bubbling in your bubbles?
Unfortunately, my poetry is not spoken word poetry, but maybe I remember one line.
Ayenza mntase stanza.
It says, I don't know what motivated this poem, but anyway, it came out the way it did. It says, years and years of kingdoms that came in our path, kings and queens that came from our past. We live not, but do not realize our dreams, our ways and means. We often live as human beings, but yet we are human doings. Then he goes on and says, be the resident of the fourth house. Be high when you're low. Be mom's mean pie, something like that. Then he goes on to say, I'm trying to remember this.
Listen, dude.
Yeah,
like
but
that on its own, like, was more than enough. I'm sure a person has gotten something.
Yeah.
And of course we just run out of time. And
Thank you
Siya,
so much.
thank you so much. It feels like the time was little, right?
Man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me here, man. I really
Absolute
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Thank you very much to you inviting me to your show and to your listeners. And I hope, people stay motivated. It's not easy with the times that we live in.
Yeah.
You open your phone, you see negativity. You turn on the TV, it's negativity, it's wars. It's people that are killing each other. It's also just people doing negative things that God has been against. So if we can all just motivate each other, stay motivated, but spirituality needs to be on the rise.
Okay.
I feel like people should not be negligent and naive into the negativity. The Bible says it. Witchcraft exists, evil exists. You need to have a savior. And that savior is
Christ.
God. There's nobody else. You need the higher power. If you don't believe in that, then, there's no use of sleeping like a sheep. You go to bed, you sleep, you wake up.
You sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what time you want to pray but be in touch with your spirituality for you to exist in the right form and in the world that God has wished for all of us to live.
Love that.
Love
that. Sure.
Thank you.
Listen, man, Siya, thank you so much for joining Grace Upon Grace. It has truly been an amazing honor to have you in studio. Thank you for the amazing work
It's
that
a
you
pleasure.
do. Thank you for planting a seed everywhere you go. Thank you for being a motivator and encourager.
so
Life springs
Appreciate
forth. I
that.
think that's what drew me, to you as well. Like,
Thank you.
you speak forth life and you exude life, and that can only be the creator of God that is inside of you. So thank you so much,
Thank
man.
you so much,
Thank
man.
you so much.
God has been here.
Yeah.
He did it again.
He did it again, man. He did it again. Listen, guys, it has been one amazing show. And if you have missed it, guys, I told you need to go to Facebook, y'all. But you can still replay that again, or you can catch our podcast that will be uploaded. And there's a lot of other podcasts that are there. So do check out our website. So from me to you, it's your girl, most fabulous Betunana. Listen, wherever you are, you need to remember God has made you like an imperishable seed. So you need to blossom where He has planted you. Until next time, have a good one.
Oh.